So you're literally rotating your plate under the restaurant lighting like you're shooting a Vogue cover, while your friend across the table has already inhaled half their burger. You adjust the fork. Tilt your phone. Maybe catch that steam. Meanwhile, someone else just eats. No ceremony, no documentation. Why do some of us need to freeze the moment before we can taste it? And what does that actually say about how our brains are wired? Because here's the thing. This isn't just about getting likes or showing off your lunch. There's actual psychology happening here. And if you're someone who reaches for your camera before your fork, your brain might be telling you something deeper than you realize. Let's start with control. Life is chaotic. Your inbox is a mess. Your schedule's unpredictable. You can't control whether the barista spells your name right. But you can control this. This one perfect moment where your food looks exactly the way you want it to look. Research in personality and social psychology shows that small, repeated behaviors like photographing your meal create what's called a micro-ritual. It's a tiny pocket of predictability in an otherwise uncertain day. That 2-second pause where you adjust the angle, that's your brain saying, here's one thing that's mine. It's not about perfection, it's about pause. Now here's where it gets interesting. People who photograph their food are often more self-aware than they seem. You might not realize it, but you're creating a visual journal. That photo isn't just documenting calories, it's capturing a feeling. Psychology professor Susan Whitbourne points out that we use sensory-rich memories to build our sense of identity. Over time, your camera roll becomes a soft archive of who you were, where you went, and what you were hungry for, physically and emotionally. That blurry photo of overcooked lasagna? That's not just dinner. That's nostalgia. That's a breakup meal, a celebration, a solo trip that changed you. This connects to something psychologists call associative memory. Your brain links strong emotions to sensory details like taste and smell. Food is one of the most powerful emotional triggers we have. So when you snap that picture, you're bottling the moment, the lighting, the conversation happening in the background, the way you felt when you sat down. But there's another layer. People who stop to photograph their meals tend to be more attuned to beauty and ritual. This links to a psychological trait called savoring. Studies confirm that people who deliberately pause to notice and appreciate small pleasures report higher levels of well-being and life satisfaction. That tiny pause to frame your ramen? That's the opposite of mindless eating. It's a way to say, this moment matters. Some people keep gratitude journals. Others light candles before dinner. You frame your joy through a phone camera. Different rituals, same instinct. To make the small things feel sacred. Here's something else. If you've ever captioned a food photo with a story, where you were, who you were with, what it meant, you might naturally think like a storyteller. Psychologists say people who narrate their experiences have higher narrative identity. That's how you shape your life into a coherent story, which improves psychological resilience and self-understanding. Your lunch becomes a plot point, and that in itself is a form of self-respect. Now, there's a flip side. Some people take photos not to remember the good, but because they're afraid to forget. This connects to memory anxiety. It's the subtle discomfort that life is moving faster than we can process. The photo becomes emotional insurance. If I forget this day, at least I'll have this picture. And in a culture where pics or it didn't happen still lingers, that pressure is real. But here's the catch. The more we reach for the camera, the more we risk stepping out of the moment itself. So try this. Take the photo, sure, but then put your phone away and really taste the thing. The best memories don't live on your screen anyway. Finally, people who photograph their food often value intention over impulse. They're pausing. They're noticing. They're treating meals less like a transaction and more like a ritual. Research from the Journal of Experimental Psychology shows that people who engage in food-related rituals, even photographing a dish, report greater enjoyment and mindfulness during meals. The act of intention changes the experience itself. So next time you see someone adjusting their plate under the light, don't roll your eyes. They're not just documenting lunch, they're tracking emotions, building meaning, creating small anchors in the swirl of everyday life. And in a noisy world, that's kind of beautiful.